This is Derek D-Train He2. Tonight's episode is brought to you by...
We're three brothers from a small town in the east coast of Canada.
Golf has been in our blood since Caddyshack was at the drive-in.
We've dedicated our lives to this game.
Ride free with them high falcons in the sun. Ride the pebble on down, not old 55 up. In the motor song, I convert home. In the AM radar, love's coming on strong. He's getting you along. He's going in and gone. Easy, oh, won't you take me in? Some of that old-fashioned California sin. Oh, there's the rules. I don't make them. Give me the dice. Watch me shake them. If I give myself to you, well, you gotta give yourself to me. There's the rules.
Tonight's episode of the Blue Line Hockey Club is brought to you by GolfsMostWanted.com. GolfsMostWanted.com offers a wide variety of unique and custom ball markers. We're talking everything from avocados to hockey skates and everything in between. So if you're a scratch golfer getting to the green with ease and looking to add a little flair once you're there, or if you're like our own Uncle Lardy Sullivan and picked up a few ticks, some poison ivy, chucked a couple clubs, and need a distraction from your game, GolfsMostWanted.com has the marker for you.
Roll. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome back to the Blue Line Hockey Club, folks. We got another exciting episode of the Blue Line Hockey Club. We got episode 115 tonight, fellas. We have all the usual suspects sitting in the house with us tonight. We have our producer, Patrick Uncle Lardy Sullivan. What's up, Patrick?
Aloha.
And our local nerd on staff, our IT guy, Robbie Pete Peters. What's up, Pete?
Hey, how's your mom and them?
And the all-around sports guru, Derek D-Train He2. What's up, D-Train?
What's up, sweetos?
And your host of the Blue Line Hockey Club tonight, Mark the Dr. Morley.
Oh, doctor.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Dormy Head Covers. Cover your wood, fellas. Check them out. Dormy Head Covers is sponsoring tonight's show. Tonight's show, we have a very awesome guest with us tonight with the Blue Liners. We have the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, Jared Bednar. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Great, man.
Good, man. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, fellas. Been looking forward to this
where are
whole
you?
week.
Awesome, thank you.
Where are you tonight? Are you out in Colorado?
Coach.
I'm actually down in Charleston, South Carolina. That's home for me in the off season, so I'm just trying to enjoy a little sunshine here before we get back to work, which looks like it's coming up pretty quick. So be here for another week.
Cool. Yeah, two of the guys on the show, Uncle Lardy and Robbie Peters there. They're in Raleigh, just north of you. I'm in Florida. And Derek's up north of Rochester in Canton, New York, where St. Lawrence University is. And that's where we're all from, way up north there with Coach Morris and those guys. So it's a pleasure having you on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I know a few of those guys, or a few guys that are from Canton, guys that I used to work with, probably names that you're familiar with as well, but we won't get into all that just yet.
Nice. Yeah, so we got some light at the end of the tunnel, maybe a vaccine coming. Maybe that's a great thing, obviously, for sports. Maybe get some fans back in the stands. That's just a big deal for the NHL. And some talk of the season starting in January. Is that going to happen, you think?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it is going to happen. I think there's a bunch of moving targets that, the league and the PA and board of governors and the owners, everyone's trying to, decide on what it's going to look like and when we're going to start, what camp looks like, what the rosters are going to look like. Looks like they're talking about no exhibition games. So I'm predicting camp will be very similar to when we started the bubble. We went back in, shortened camp, got some game situation drills with inner squad, and we're able to get some good work in after quite a long layoff, and then headed into the bubble. And I kind of predicting it to be very similar to that going into the season here. Hopefully we're able to start mid-January. That's looks like the target date for now. I'm sure we'll get more details coming fast and furious here in the next week or so.
Yeah, it looks like they placed you. It's not etched in stone, but like Division 3, I saw. Pretty tough division there. Top 4 teams in the West. That'll be the division to watch. What's if that happens, what's your take on that? That's going to be a grind.
It will be. There's no question. I mean, I saw a couple different alignments going, but it's such a short season. The importance. Every game's going to be huge. You're fighting, hopefully, to get in the playoffs, get home ice advantage. Last year, home ice was a little bit different because you're in the bubble. This year, if this vaccine comes out and things get moving in the right direction, the hope is that we can start putting fans back in the buildings and hopefully come playoff time that we can pack our buildings and get that atmosphere back in. And I know that's what everyone wants. And I think it's a realistic goal for us in the league. And it'd be a lot of fun to play in front of our fans and opposing fans again here. And hopefully for part of the regular season. And if not, at least once playoff time comes, I think that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah. Just get some hockey back. I was talking with these guys before you came on, Coach, and just as a coach, if I was the coach of the Colorado Avalanche, like I was just thinking, how do you dreaming? My dreams, but how would I go at the season? Would I take every game, win no matter what, or do I bring a couple guys up and try different things on the special units, power play, move that around? With the shortened season, I don't know. Does it have an asterisk next to the season? That's debatable. But how are you going in on it? Are you going win every game, or it's probably hard to say.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the feeling and how your team's playing. I think we have to leave ourselves as coaches and as our team open to some flexibility here. One of the things that Joe has done a real good job of with his staff is providing us now with a lot of depth. We've got some real good young players that are, teetering on making our team or being able to contribute and help us win hockey games. Guys have stepped up here over the last little bit. Last year with a lot of injuries, we've seen other guys elevate their game and be able to help us. So I think when you're in a short season like this, whether it's 56, 50, 48 games, whatever that's going to be, I think it's important to make sure your guys are rested, try to avoid the injuries that we had last year. So using our depth, I think, is something that we're talking about. So we'll explore that a little bit as the season goes on and see how the guys are feeling. There's going to need to be a lot of communication there, and certainly open to trying some new things as a coach of our team. I think we have a real good team. I think our guys will be hungry. I think, a shortened sprint of the season will be exciting. There'll be lots of things to consider as you're kind of moving through it. We'll discuss a lot of that as we get our staff together here before we start training camp, and make sure that we're kind of touching base with each other and bringing up new ideas as we go through the season.
Good team's an understatement there, by the way. You're being humble.
Well, we haven't accomplished what we wanted to accomplish yet. So, I know that our guys, they have a little fire in them, and they're looking forward to getting the season going. They've been working hard over this break, and we kind of have a bad taste in our mouth after last year. I think we had a real good regular season and went through a lot of adversity, and then we, came up short in the bubble playoffs. And, in large part, we weren't as durable as what we would have liked to be, and ran into some tough breaks and a real tough opponent in Dallas. And, obviously you got to tip your hat to Tampa Bay for sticking with it and being a very resilient team. And, and they've gone through some heartache the year before. So they're a good team that we can look at and keep trying to advance ourselves and get better every year here as we go.
Definitely. Coach, I'll jump on that. That was going to be my question, that bad taste in your mouth. I can taste it from here for you guys, and I'm just wondering, what are your guys like? How are they going to respond? Will they turn that into fuel for fire, do you think? Boys will respond to that.
Yeah, I think they will. We've got a team that we have a strong belief system, I think, within our group, and we know what we want to accomplish. We've been working hard and staying focused at trying to get to that goal. And, we came up short last year. I think there's a bunch of different factors involved in that, and we're trying to learn from some of our mistakes last year. And again, we guys have been training hard to make sure they're ready for a shortened sort of jam-packed season, and we got to find a way to stay healthy and play hard every night to win hockey games, and then you're going to need a little luck along the way. And I think that again, that depth that we've sort of had, and it's been getting better and better every year. And I think we've got some players here. They're talking about having a little bit of a taxi squad and being able to use guys and before the American League starts, and so the rosters will be expanded. And I think the team that sort of takes advantage of that the best way is going to have a little bit of a leg up. And, so those are some of the things that we're discussing, and hopefully we'll make the right decisions. And our guys come out and have some fun here. I'm sure everyone's excited to kind of get going now. This news is coming out and getting in contact with a few more guys here, and it's exciting to get to play another season here, and it'll be short, and then right to the playoffs if you're lucky enough to do the job to get there.
Hey, Coach, I know you believe in building, 4 solid lines. I know you need that to be successful to go deep into the playoffs, and you brought in guys like Bowers and Kadri that have helped you kind of with some of your, a little bit of your face-off woes that you had, early in your tenure as a coach and stuff like that. So what do you see as going forward, what are the pieces that you want to put in place to kind of take you guys over the top, you think?
Well, I think, you mentioned a couple guys there, and we have a couple additions that Joe picked up over the offseason with Saad coming in. I think that gives us another big body guy that can really skate and play with the pace that our team plays with. Give us a little sturdiness in our top 6. And the addition of Taves as well, coming from the Islanders, sort of solidifies their decor. Looking at the minutes that Makar is starting to, expand his role. He's getting more minutes, month by month in his pro career, and looking for a left-handed shot guy that can play with him, or a guy that can play with him and eat up a lot of those minutes. And we think that a guy like Taves can do that, and we'll be moving the D pairs around a little bit. And but we want to be able to play our top players in the right situations and play them a lot while they're having success. And we do that with McKinnon's line. I think we're building a decor now where we can continue to take advantage of the players that we've acquired, and get our offensive guys on the ice in all the key situations that we need them to, and some of our heavier defenders and guys that do some heavy lifting in their D zone out there in those situations. So our team has really shaped up over the last couple of years, and as the season goes on, we lean heavily on those guys to do the job in those situations, and they've done that. So hopefully we can continue that this year and then carry that into the playoffs as well. But we do have some youthful guys coming in, like Bowers, you mentioned. He's yet to make his debut, but he looked really good last year in the bubble as one of our extras. And we'll get a good look at those guys here in camp, and hopefully they can make an impact on our team during the regular season as well.
We talked a little bit about activate the new defensemen in the NHL right now. They have to be offensive minded as well. The whole activating the D. How big is it for a Cale Makar to step in and have? I mean, he was second on your team in points, 53 points or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, how big is that for you to get a Cale?
Yeah, it's huge. I think, I don't think activating your D or getting your defense involved in your rush attack or in your offensive scheme is anything new. But I think we're seeing, young guys and young players from the back end be able to step in and contribute in those areas right away. Makar, Heskinen for Dallas, and guys that are making real large impacts with their team, not just on the power plays, but 5-on-5 as well. And it's their skating ability, number one, that stands out for me for these guys. And we've got guys at Makar, Gerard, now Taves, Eric Johnson does a good job of getting up and joining the rush. We have a young guy in Connor Timmins that played some games for us last year that, showed that through junior and now is a second year pro that will be able to do that as well. And then we drafted Bo Byram, and he came with us into the bubble too, and he looked more mature than we had saw him a year ago. He's another guy that could push for a roster spot on their team, and he has a lot of that offensive ability as well. So it's so hard to create offense in the league when you're just using your forwards, your three guys on your attack or in the offensive zone. You have to do it as a 5-man unit. We should certainly preach that to our guys and encourage it from our guys. There's certain things that they have to do to be responsible on the defensive side of it as well, but making good decisions and getting up and joining the play is always something that we're going to encourage. It's what we want to see out of our team. We want our team to be dynamic and exciting, and we have some of those players now that are certainly that as individuals, and just getting our whole team to buy into that, I think is a key for us. And we like the style of game we play. We feel like it's fun and exciting, and hopefully fans like to watch us play the same way.
Yeah, Coach, I think exciting is an understatement. Like we said before, we've been pumping the tires for the Colorado Avalanche for over a year now.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, we had you picked to win the Cup last year for sure. A lot of speculation from the NHL analysts out there on TV and shit. We're talking about goaltending in your core, in the net, and speculations of Lundqvist coming to. That was the rumor going around late in the season. I don't know if maybe if that was even a possibility or just speculation. How comfortable are you guys feeling with your three goalies that you have right now?
Well, I like our guys. I mean, Grubauer and Francouz, they just had an excellent year for us last year, and unfortunately we got into injury trouble in the playoffs and had to play the Dallas series without him or most of it. And Hutchinson had come in and he played great for us. You got to tip your hat to him. He hadn't played in months and just gets thrown right into the fire into a real tight playoff series. And I was really happy to see him, sort of excel, and would have been nice to be able to win that Game 7 for him and then get some help back in the net. But, that's one of the things. We got to find a way to use our two goalies. They split most of last season. Some of it was planned. Some of it was out of necessity with the guys going down at different times, getting injured. We took a look at their off-season training programs and in-season maintenance, and trying to educate ourselves as a management team, as a coaching staff. Having some discussion with those guys, having them reach out to some of their trainers and figure out what they can do, and hopefully we're doing all the right things that they can stay healthy. Because when they're great. They're both very talented goalies, and as a tandem, they were hard to beat last year. So I'd like to carry over some of last year regular season success into the shortened season this year, and hopefully playoffs.
Coach, just kind of a random question, but I was looking at your roster, your goaltenders, and they're all like really similar size, weight, height. Is there any rhyme or reason to why you guys want goalies of that size?
I think the prototypical guy you're looking for is a bigger guy that's an athlete, and Vasilevsky, comes to mind for me for Tampa and what he's been able to do. I think you find playing the bigger goalies that it's when they're positionally sound and they're athletic that they're hard to beat or harder to beat. So, I've noticed that at our development camps, our scouts go out, they watch these guys, and we've got some good young goalies, and they're playing overseas mostly. Werner came over last year and played in the American League for us. Big guys, can move. It generally takes longer for goalies to develop, and we'll be patient with those guys, especially now that we've got our two guys that did such a great job for us last year, and hopefully those young kids keep developing and improving and getting more experience, and eventually we'll see them over here. But I know that our management team is really excited, and our scouts are really excited with some of the guys that we had drafted and what they've been able to do, outside the NHL up to this point.
We were wondering, I'm sorry to jump in there. We're wondering, how much are you involved in, or is it Joe Sakic doing, basically all of the personnel for you guys, pulling in the players? Are you making those choices? Are you and Joe making them? How does that work?
No, that's Joe. Joe has his staff and the scouts that he trusts, and they they're doing the work. Like I'm focused on our team, basically from start to finish, and how we're deploying our guys and what we need to work on, as individuals and on our special teams units, 5-on-5 play. And once you get into that, you just get focused on that. And we'll discuss all our players and how they're doing, and where we see that we can expand their roles, where we might need to mix things up to have success, who we should try in different roles when we get young guys in. Our draft picks, as we see them come in, and discuss what we think they can do for us now and what they might be able to build into as NHL players. But for the most part, those scouts, they're on the road and watching those games, all winter long while we're worried about our team. Joe will go out and watch players and watch them. Now they have the ability to scout them on video and get a bunch of viewings on these guys, and we'll discuss if we're lacking something on our roster, if there's something we need, we'll have conversations about that. But I don't get into who we draft, or sometimes we'll look at free agents. They'll ask me to look at some guys that might be free on video and use our staff. And if anyone's ever coached them before or had them, they'll do their homework on these guys, so we know exactly what we're getting as players, and if they're going to be able to step in and help us, and if he acquired a guy, how I might use them or how we would deploy him as a coaching staff. And so he's really good at gathering that information, but that's him and his staff that take care of our personnel.
Yeah, well, hats off to them, because they're putting together a sick roster.
Yeah, they certainly are.
You saying, we get to view players, more now on the internet. We got the World Juniors coming up. Colorado has 4, pretty good prospects. Possibly a Hobie Baker winner. I know that Newhook's for BC. He had like 30 goals in the last 19 games of BU. I mean, he's a stud, and some of the beat writers out there in Colorado, the Avalanche are looking, possibly for him to step in and hopefully put some pucks in the net. So, and you got 3 other guys playing too, but you guys will probably be glued to the TV here on Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just think it's a great tournament. If you get the opportunity to watch the best players in the world get together in an action-packed, a couple-week event like that, it's exciting. And I love the banter around their locker room. We've got Steve, Jim, Canadian guys, American guys, the Russians. They all have their side bets going on, and I think it's exciting. You know, I'm like you. I'm a hockey fan. I want to watch these guys play. There's added incentive when when I can flip on camera and you hook and buy them and and see our prospects play on different nights, because we don't get to see them a lot as coaches. You know, we've seen them in a couple camps here now, but to see them compete against their peers in their own age group, I think it's exciting, and eventually they'll grow into type players in the NHL. I'm anxious to watch this World Junior and hopefully they can pull it off, and even in this the COVID situation going on right now.
Yeah, any hockey is good.
I think we beat you up with enough questions there. Kind of shooting from the hip there for quite a while.
Hunting, Jared, I know you're a big hunter. Were you able to get out in the woods at all or do anything?
Yeah, you know what? That's been the one thing that I've enjoyed about this break is I've been able to be in South Carolina this time of year, and I mean, it's got to be over 15 years already. You know, we've been gone in August to get ready for September camp, and so I've really enjoyed the hunting. Went on a elk hunt up in Colorado. My first
nice.
Got a bull, and I shot a buck here, whitetail, the other day, and been fishing and catching some fish here recently. So just sort of decompressing and picking away at work a little bit now, getting excited for the season, but trying to take the weekends and get in outdoors and sort of away from people and trying to be safe. So it's been fun.
How was the drive? You heading them straight? I know you put on a big golf tournament every year, don't you? And for the Humboldt Broncos, I read something on that. But how's your golf game?
It's horrible right now.
Too much time in the woods.
It's weird because some hockey players are just like phenomenal. Like Clayton Keller, he just tees the ball up and it's straight all the time. You get a couple of hockey players like that, and then you got hockey players like me or like Charles Barkley who just can't. I mean, I consider myself a really good athlete. Played hockey all the way up through college and soccer, and I can't hit that goddamn ball.
Debatable.
You can look at it too. I'll tell you, I don't know what's going on. Just when I think my game's coming around, it all of a sudden takes a nosedive. That's players got more time than coaches.
Yeah.
Coaches always in there watching video, dissecting everything for hours on end, and players just they get a little bit more time. They could train for a few hours in the morning and play golf every afternoon. It's
yeah, it's more of a job for the coach, right?
Like a real job.
So my nephew's Jordan Greenway. He plays for the Minnesota Wild, and man, I'd love to be him. He golfs every morning when he's not playing, obviously, but man, the life of an NHL player, those guys golf a lot if they're not playing.
Nice,
like literally the saying when they lose in playoffs that they might as well go get their golf clubs. Like that's like not a joke. I mean, that's what they do. Nice.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on the show and taking time and actually answering probably more questions than we thought we were even going to get in. So we're definitely going to be
excited for Colorado. We just, like we said, we've been pumping your tires. We're just so excited, especially me. So sorry for drilling you so hard.
We appreciate the support, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Good luck this season.
Of course.
Kick some ass.
Take care, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, this is Derek D-Train He2. Tonight's episode is brought to you by...
We're three brothers from a small town in the east coast of Canada.
Golf has been in our blood since Caddyshack was at the drive-in.
We've dedicated our lives to this game.
Ride free with them high falcons in the sun. Ride the thermal on down. Not over 55 in the motor song. Comfort home in the AM radar. Love is coming on strong. It's getting you along. It's going in a go. Easy, oh, won't you take me in? Some of that old-fashioned California sin. Oh, there's the rules. I don't make them. Be the ties.
You need to check out golfsmostwanted.com and see for yourself the massive selection of unique and custom markers. These markers won't end up rattling around in the bottom of your bag or in the washing machine after the round. These are the real deal. So go to golfsmostwanted.com and check these out. That's golfsmostwanted.com. You didn't come here to lay up.
Interview brought to you by Dormy Head Covers with Coach Bednar from the Colorado Avalanche. Really cool guy, down to earth, like every other hockey player we have on here.
Yeah, we always say that, right? It's like, we have to say it anymore.
It's very similar. Very similar.
Yeah, good interview. I mean, like, we can't say it enough, like how much we respect that team. Like when he said they're exciting to play, that's just a true statement. I mean, they're fast, and they have so many young players that are really fast. The game, when you watch a Colorado game, the pace is faster than some of the lower skilled teams in the NHL. When you see some of the other games,
Definitely, yeah.
It's definitely like a step up when teams come into Colorado to play as far as keeping up. You see that happen when your teams have to step up and play to the level of the team they're playing. And it's always a really fast pace when Colorado's playing when they're playing. So I look forward to seeing what happens with them. I mean, he can't really say too much about his goaltending. How can he say anything bad about his guys? But it should be interesting to see if they make any moves there. They stay with those two guys. Because we say it all the time. You need two good goaltenders to make it to the Stanley Cup, and they just fell short. So will they make some changes there? They seem like they have a good defensive core and up front as well. It's just I think they could do a little bit better with their number one goalie, keep one of those guys as a number two to take them to the next level. But, I mean, I don't know. There's been a lot of goalie moves lately, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to move it. You'd have to move a guy from two teams in 1 year. That's how many moves there was. But I would say that's the word on the street. The beat writers for Colorado is the goalie situation. Everything else looks good. Like you said, the goalies got hurt during playoffs, and they had.
We talk about that all the time. It's some luck, right? There's some luck.
He said that too.
Yeah, exactly. And just to touch on Joe Sakic, like Joe Sakic making those decisions. I mean, the guy is a legend in the NHL anyway, so he knows his way around a hockey rink.
What's his last name?
Joe Sakic?
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, you might have heard of him. If not, you're watching another show.
Figure skating.
But, Joe Sakic is doing something good out there. It's like we're waiting for Detroit. Steve Yzerman is just out there in Detroit, and we're waiting to see what kind of moves happen. But these older NHL veterans that have now taken over franchises like Colorado, Colorado is nasty. They're one, I don't want to say mistake, but they're one mistake that they capitalize on from going into, their two losses in the second round of playoffs. One mistake away from going into the third round and, winning the cup.
Winning the cup, literally.
One thing we didn't touch on really is that, Jared has had success at every single level of coaching that you come in contact with. So this guy's got a track record. And I think, I asked that question about the goaltenders more so to see if it was like some kind of way they gauge who they want to have as a goaltender by size and weight and stuff like that. But he more alluded to the fact that they are looking for a bigger goaltender. And when you look at their roster as a whole, it's really kind of their only weakness left. They've kind of built that front. Their back end was kind of good originally. Their front end, they've, added to that with Kadri and some other guys to help with the face-offs and stuff like that. And now I think the only thing left is, they get a legit number one goaltender. This team is, it's almost unstoppable, honestly, barring injuries and stuff like that. But I mean, on paper, they're like one really great goaltender away from being a really, really great team.
And he didn't answer the question. I mean, literally, if they would have signed Lundqvist for a 1 year contract or 2 year minimum, I mean, if they didn't win, Colorado was getting to the point where they are Toronto, right? They're going to have to win we've been saying this about Toronto. I mean, on paper, holy shit, come on, guys. I mean, your first line salary is bigger than the Minnesota Wild. Like, come on, you guys got to do something. But I think we're going to be seeing us start tilting towards Colorado. You know, come on, Jared, come on, you know, Joe Sakic. Let's you guys got to do something here. I mean, how many more players? I think we talked about that in Edmonton with the best player in the NHL, in my opinion, Connor McDavid.
Well, we say that, and Draisaitl, you know, was 110 points. He had the most in the
that's true.
In the league.
I mean, yeah, I hear you.
That's Rantanen out there. I mean, they won't talk about him too much. It's all, you know, talked about McKinnon and stuff, but I mean, that guy's nasty. He's like, it's like the McDavid Draisaitl combination. You know, those two guys are pretty nasty. Then, like Derek was talking about Kadri, the addition to him, then they have a decent core of guys that can put the puck in the back of the net. And they got a guy like Cale Makar. He just adds value. Huge.
Yeah.
Don't forget about McKinnon.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
Well, I was just saying, don't forget about McKinnon. I mean, he's, ultimate
floats on the ice.
Yeah, I mean,
90 points. He had 40 more points than Makar, you know.
Yeah,
so
he's one guy we haven't talked about a lot. But I mean, the roster's pretty stacked, you know, and they've got some good role players, you know, that are really disciplined hockey players that they've kind of fit in there to, you know, really make that roster solid. But I think goaltending is that last little piece, and then, you know, he got Jared got a extension at the end of 2019, a 2-year extension. So you know, it's kind of
he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere.
I don't think he's going anywhere either.
I don't either.
And on the goalie topic, you know, they're so good that they might be able to get away with, you know, mediocre. I'm not saying, you know, the Francouz or Grubauer are mediocre, but
Francois.
when they're that, you might be able to get away with, you know, not having that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean, with that all-star forward, I mean, Toronto's trying to do that now. I mean, Anderson, I mean, yeah, he's in the top 20 goalies, top 15, debatable. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I don't see him going anywhere. He's there for a while. But that was awesome to have him on tonight. And, you know, Rob, I got to use the lavatory real quick, but tell the listeners just about the divisions coming up here. You can pull that up. And
I got it. Yeah.
Like I told
NHL is tentatively coming back on January 13th. They have tentatively set that date. And I didn't get to ask, you know, is 2 weeks enough to clean up and get going?
Yeah, that's nothing, man. That's basically for them to get, like, you know, 10, 12 good skates in, maybe some double sessions at the beginning, and work on their power play, their man down, you know, just trying to get their special teams in place. But, you know, that's not that much time for guys to work, you know, work systems like for any new guys. But I don't think they have a ton of new guys, so they should be able to. And they got a lot of young guys, which I think will help. That don't need to get, you know, doesn't take them long to get in shape. As maybe some of the older guys, it might take a month for them to get in game shape. They're younger, their muscles are a lot, you know, muscle memory's coming back a lot faster. So I mean, I think that helps them out. But man, that's a quick training camp for any. You know, you think about football, they're in camp for just as long as, you know, hockey guys, over a month and a half, you know, so we'll see what happens. You know, like every team's the same though, you know, everybody gets 2 weeks. So there's no advantage or anything like that. I just hope that they get it going. So I know if you want to talk about the divisions, one of the divisions is the Canadian division, which is every Canadian team, which is interesting. But I did see on the bottom of the news tonight that Trudeau is going to start giving vaccines in Canada by the end of this month. So that should be good. I'm sure the hockey players will probably be on that list.
Yeah. So, you know, let's talk about those divisions. They're floating divisions right now, and Mark just, you know, alluded to the Canadian division. They've got the Flames, the Oilers, Canadians, Maple Leafs, Senators, Canucks, and Jets running in Division 4 right now. So the all-Canadian division is it's happening. I see a lot of buzz. People are excited about that. But, you know, for me, my first thought is, you know, is that good or is that bad? That means you have one representative going into playoffs, and when was the last time a Canadian team won the fucking Stanley Cup? That's the first, thing that came to my mind. But
a lot of travel for those guys too. They got the whole country to travel, right? So like the American divisions are all centered like East Coast, Central, West Coast type divisions, where Canadians got to go from Montreal to Vancouver. I mean, what the fuck, 6-hour flights, 3-hour time differences. Logistically, rest wise, it's kind of fucked up for them. I think a lot more travel time for them.
I think it'll be. I'm 100% with you, Rob and Mark, on that travel, but I think it'll be interesting. It will make some good hockey on this shortened season because the rivalries are just going to be highlighted even more. So I think that just in Canada, I mean, over here in the States, it's a little different. We're born and raised right on the Canadian border, so we're Toronto fans, Ottawa, Montreal. We're a couple hours away, so. Anyway, some of us have played in Canada our whole life, so we know, what that builds in the atmosphere up there in those rinks. So I think that'll bring that dynamic to those Canadian division, that Canadian division.
Yeah,
I like the Wild being in a division with both Florida teams. That means they're going to be coming down here to play. Maybe they have fans.
Well, they're going to pick I don't know the details, but I think. What I heard is that they're going to pick like 2 rinks out of those, that division. So, and then create a bubble there and then kind of switch it. But if not, I'm with you, man, because the Wild and Carolina are in the same division. So
yeah, the Florida teams, Carolina. I mean, I think the bubble needs to shove it up their ass and get rid of this bubble shit.
Hopefully soon.
Get the vaccines going. Fucking shoot them up. Get some fans in the stands. We got to do it, man. You watch the football games, fucking boring. They got the fake noise coming in. It's just time to get back to. I'd like to see some fans back for hockey.
Yeah, the NFL has showed that you don't need to have the bubble. Honestly, I mean, they've showed that you don't need to have the bubble. I mean, it's all about. I mean, they've done it. There's a way to make this happen by testing the players on a individual basis on a regular basis. So there's a way that they can do this without having to put teams in a bubble and let them play in their own rinks and let their whatever region they're in decide how many fans they can have in the arenas and stuff like that. So I think we're hopefully we're on the outside of this, kind of moving away from the shit that we've dealt with for the last year, and we'll see what happens, but I don't think they need this bubble shit. I agree with you, Mark. It's got to go away.
And they got a bubble in Edmonton. So for the World Juniors, which is coming up Christmas Day, I know we talked to Jared a little bit about that. So I'm excited to watch that. Like, that literally pumps me up. I remember, 3-4 years ago, watching it like intense, like, cheering, jumping off the couch, Jordan playing. So, I'll get into it. There's nothing else to watch. Like Mark said, football is getting boring. I don't know what it is. It's like football and Thanksgiving turkey is the same thing to me. I just start falling asleep immediately. I get excited. Like for the Monday Night Football game, the Chiefs are playing the Broncos. I think that was Monday night. Get all pumped and excited and 5 minutes in.
So that division that Mark was just talking to, the Division 2 there would be Carolina, Columbus, Detroit, Chicago, Florida, Minnesota, Nashville, and Tampa. And, I see somebody saying, Tampa's going to mop that fucking Division 2 up. We'll see. We'll see. But
yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be competitive.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's hope. Let's pray that they do it.
The other 2 divisions that we'll touch on is it looks like it would be like the Atlantic division or
the Metro and the Atlantic combined
combination. They got Boston, Buffalo, New Jersey, New York Islanders, the Rangers, Flyers, Penguins, and Capitals. That's going to be a pretty tough league right there too. Boston, they were number 1 going in to playoffs.
Yeah.
Capitals are always going to be tough. Ovi, you got Sid in Pittsburgh. Flyers are a good team. The Rangers are a good team. The Islanders are a good team. And then there's New Jersey and Buffalo. We'll see how they do.
Question mark.
that's going to be a tough division there. The third division we haven't talked about is like the West, the West American divisions. We got Anaheim, Arizona, Colorado, Dallas, the LA Kings, San Jose Sharks, St. Louis, and Vegas. So, how they split them up, they're still going to be tough divisions. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it seems like each division has 4 decent teams and then 4 teams that are average, right? So you got the Kings, Arizona, maybe. You got the Avalanche, definitely Vegas. The Sharks kind of shitty last year. It seems like you have half the divisions are going to be the better teams and half are question marks. It seems like each division has this, even the Canadian division. So they split them up. Are they going to split them up 4 and 4, or however it splits up? But the divisions are usually where they have your division, but your conference. You have you play more games in your conference than your division type thing. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but I don't know. I just hope they get something going because I'd like to get some hockey back on TV and give us something to talk about here.
Amen.
And I'm sure
boys, lot changes from year to year in sports, man. The teams that weren't great last year, rise up. So there's a lot of unknown. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe they do this to just the new division thing and they like it, right? But I can't see them doing the Canadian thing after this year, just because of the travel thing. Just West Coast teams should be on the West Coast.
To normal, right? After this year.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's got to.
Montreal doesn't want to travel to Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, on the regular. It's craziness. The time differences and the flight times and travel times is just too much.
Yeah.
Expenses too, So, all right, boys. So it was a pretty good podcast with our Colorado Avalanche head coach and Jared Bednar. And if you didn't catch our previous podcast, check us out at BlueLineHockeyClub.com.
Dormy, we got Dormy's their sponsor. Rob can talk about them next week. We got a guest coming on. So, and then we'll be, next week maybe we'll break down a little more World Juniors coming up because we have a pretty sick
next week. We got Pat Maroon coming on. So check us out again next week. That's going to be a pretty good podcast. Back to back, Pat Maroon.
The rig.
We talk about all these big name NHL players, but Pat Maroon is the hottest fucking player in NHL right now. Back to back named on the cup for 2 different teams. So, I don't know if it's all luck for him or what, but
I'll ask him.
His name's on the cup twice, and we'll ask him about it for sure.
You think so you think he's the best looking, is what you're saying?
He is good looking.
Good partier.
He's the hottest.
He is a good partier. What about Dormy Workshop, Pete?
Dormy Workshop is, a phenomenal product. As Mark said when we opened up, we got your wood covered, cover your wood. They have sick leather, custom leather head covers for your golf clubs. And we've got a bunch coming. We're going to be giving some away. The head covers are
Mark
amazing.
And Derek's are giving away.
We're giving away Mark and Derek's. Yeah.
we wouldn't know.
Because they're worth money, that's why. That was a doctor's. I went down.
What do they look like?
No, they are sick though.
Also, just started a partnership with Golf's Most Wanted. They are an accessories. They've got pretty cool golf accessories: tees, markers, divot, the divot tools.
Yeah, one thing I like that they have is towel. What's a divot replacer? Towels with a magnet on it. So what you can do is stick the towels, 2 or 3, on the metal of the golf cart. If you got a rainy day or your hands are sweaty or you got Vaseline on them, you can just kind of wipe them down a little bit on the golf towel. I thought that was pretty cool that they got a magnet on golf towels because, when you golf, I always bring a towel or 2 out with me and put it in the seat. And then, after the 3rd hole, I can't find them. So
left it on the 2nd hole.
Yeah, so That's another thing, you know. We might think about that. You know how you put like strings through your shirt so you don't lose your mittens. Why don't they do that for the head covers? Like do something, tie them to your
golf
back.
club so you can just take it off and let it hang.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the Army about that. Maybe market that.
Oh God.
A lot of good things happen in the Blue Line Hockey Club, folks. We are going to be moving over to Sportscaster, be doing these live, so we won't be producing them on Wednesday and pushing them out on Saturdays anymore. We'll be going live, so you'll be able to check us out, interact with us while we are doing these podcasts live with our guests, which is pretty cool because we get the big name guests here on the Blue Line Hockey Club. Everybody wants to check out the Blue Line Hockey Club for who we get on our show, not necessarily for our ugly mugs. But boys, great.
Zero budget.
Yes, sir. And all kinds of sponsorships and great stuff coming out. So just check out our website, BlueLineHockeyClub.com, our YouTube channel, our Facebook, and our Twitter are on fire. So subscribe to all that stuff, like our pages, and follow us. And until next time, folks, keep your stick on the ice.
Tell ya.
Sweet out.
Oh, doctor.
Keep your head up.